Hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventure. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Today's video coming up is I have many questions, as you know, on Expandable House and how I got it here and what the process is. So today we're going to talk about the Expandable House. So hopefully you like this video. Today's video is about the Expandable House, and as you can see, my little wife standing right there. And what it is, the questions is how I got it here, how I purchased the house, what the process was, how I got it here to the property, what you need to do if you're going to actually get a house and try to bring one to your country or to here. So today's video is going to be about that. So we'll start off by saying that I bought the house through a company called Alibaba. Everybody's very familiar, should be familiar with it, because a lot of the stuff that's shipped throughout the world comes from Alibaba. If you want to sell a car, you can buy it through Alibaba. You want to buy a boat or an RV or buy a house, you can buy it through Alibaba. What got me started doing this was because I looked in building a house here in the Philippines, and as you know, the infrastructure is not really. It's great for concrete and the block and houses like that, the block house, but the products themselves are substandard products. So I looked at many different. I looked at hardy board. I looked at metal. I looked at sidings. I looked at all kinds of things that I could build a house, and things at that particular time, 6 years ago, was not promising. Even today, you can build a house through hardy board and things like that, but it gets quite expensive. And sometimes the manufacturer can run delays on a lot of that product. I looked at buying sandwich panel and building my own house. I looked at rock wool. I looked at all kinds of things to try to purchase items to build this house. So what I did was I found the house at Alibaba. I did some research on it, and at that particular time there was a typhoon that came through China, and the only house standing was this house. So I looked more detail into it, and I found this house, and I said, okay, how am I going to get it here to the Philippines? The easiest way to get it to the Philippines was to have them manufacture it, and I said it may be a problem. You have to have a freight broker, a broker that carries the freight, and what that means is, depending on what country you're shipping it to, you need to have a broker that will not only help you get it through customs, but you need to have a broker that actually will bring it to your property, and that's the freight brokers. There are many brokers out there, but they don't do freight. And I got in touch through another friend at CMG, that would give me a contact that I could do that. So we met with them. This process took a month or two, believe me. Met with them, ordered the house, paid money down on the house. You have to pay half up front and then half when shipped, the other half. I actually got my own freight company to ship it, CMG. It was cheaper by about $800. So then brought the house from China to here with $700, which is actually really good price. For them to unload it off the docks and things like that, it depends on the taxes and all that stuff on the country you're planning on bringing it to. Because a lot of people ask me, they're going to bring some to Australia, they're going to bring it to the U.S., they're going to bring it to some of the islands like St. Thomas, Croix, some of the islands. People are actually buying these houses. One lady bought 5 houses and brought them here. So the best thing to do is get with Alibaba. Make sure you get what they call their Alibaba escrow account, where they actually check the business to make sure everything's okay. There will be a link in this, so if you're interested in this house, all you have to do is click it. Once I received the item here, the freight broker unloaded the item and took it to their property, took it out of the container, put it on another container, put it on a truck, and then brought it to my place. I received it here in my place. It cost me $1,000 to have it unloaded and shipped here. The fees and everything when I had it and brought from to Davao was about $2,500 total, and give or take $1 or $2. So I bought the house for $9,000. I added some stuff onto the house, and it cost $9,800, and then had it shipped here. Total price was $13,500. We did receive a $1,000 credit, all at the end of the day back, so $12,000. So the house, once we received the house here, then we could actually unload it by crane, and I actually got the crane. Say hi. Hi. I actually got the crane and got them to actually not me. 90% of anything once it's received here was done by Ruth. From China and everything else, I did it. Once it's received here, she went and got the crane. She had it all worked out, and we got the crane and got it situated here where we could get the house unloaded and dropped. The setup of the house is really simple. What we did was, it's a little different than what they normally would do on a house. We actually put in what they call a septic system. It was called I have two barrels, the blue barrels, the water barrels, side by side. One feeds the septic from this house, and I'll show you this. Running out of the house right there. There's a pipe. Runs out of the house right there. We have a barrel here and a barrel over here, and our septic runs right there, branches out the back of the house. Once it's branched out of the back of the house, you can see it right there. You see it branched out of the back of the house, runs down through here, runs into one barrel. And then I have another barrel side by side, and I have one barrel in the front for the water. So I have two barrels, and I got a 4 to 6 inch hole drilled. These two barrels are not attached, they're separate entities. They both do attach into the front barrel, which is right here. And then we have a leach field. It runs from here to the other side of Ruth, right there. And the leach field is basically where the water will drain into the septic. And I did it this way because we have, the water table is 2 feet to 3 feet, you get water here. Even though we're up on a mountain, there's a lot of water. So you can dig down 2 feet, 3 feet, you're going to hit water. If you get down to 4 feet, it gets really deep, 5 feet, you're really into water. It's really easy to dig a well here. The electric, if you look back there, is just basically just run power to the house and power up the house. I'll show you inside the main box. This house is wired 110. You can wire it 220, whatever you want. I just had it wired 110, used one leg of it, because at the time I thought it would be cheaper electric. And it's not always the case. Doesn't matter. It all runs fine. What I wanted to say was, I'm inserting this in there. It's called trade assurance. If you're going to do business with Alibaba, make sure you get the trade assurance program. That's where they actually come out and they put your money in escrow. They look at the business to make sure they're legitimate. And if at the end of the day, once you receive the house, what they will do is they'll email you. You received your house. Is everything as described? Did they deliver everything as they promised? If you say yes, they'll release the money to them. If you say no, then you can go back and negotiate more funds or whatever. Hey, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. They're supposed to do this, they're supposed to do that, and they didn't do it, and then you get a negotiation. It's like a assurance program to make sure that you get your money. It's really a good program. I actually used it. The thing too is, once you buy stuff from China or anywhere else in the world, you know, you have that. It's like eBay. You buy something at eBay, same thing. They give you your money back if things don't work out, or you get a new transmission in the car because car transmission gone after you received it. So this is really good, and it worked out fine. I'm glad I bought it. Would I buy it again? Yes. Would I build here again? No, because there's no guarantee on people, workers, payments, all that stuff. It can get pricey after a while. So the best thing to do is that's the reason I bought it, and I'm glad I did. I buy again tomorrow. And in fact, we thought about buying a couple of these houses and put them out as rentals. So I'm just adding this video. It's called Trade Assurance. You can see this is my box. There's quite a few. We have one leg. It's not even being used. You can use it for a hot water tank outside. But we have the tankless water system. It works really well here. So you don't really have to worry about that. So that's really the setup on the house. Is I got it here. The water is real easy to do. You can actually buy stands that comes with this house and have it on stands, so stilts. But I decided not to do that because of the earthquakes, and I'm glad I did, because we have earthquakes here. So imagine the house falling off earthquakes, because we had some pretty good shakes, which brought cracks in the wall over here at the Blessing House. That's the reason why I did what I did for us here where we're at, because there's flooding, there's the earthquakes. We had many there for a while, so it can really influence the environment you're in. So that's the reason I bought this house. It's fire resistant, it's earthquake resistant, it's category 4 wind resistant to storms and hurricanes. So, and once you get in here, you can't hear anything. It's quiet. You close the door in a room, it's very quiet. It's easy to cool. I cool the house 24/7. It's easy to cool. We have a small air con that cools the house. It's only 450 square feet. It's 6 meter by 8 meter. So it's, what is it, 450 or something like that. It doesn't really matter. It's a small house. It's fine. It's 3 of us. So what do we need more than that? So I just want to say, I want to thank everybody for always watching our videos. If you have more questions, all you have to do is just put them in the comments and I'll answer them.